Hello, everybody.
I'm going to tell you a delightful story.
Now, I want you to make yourselves comfortable and settle back.
Now, are you all ready? Here we go. Record goes down.
The question is what the problem is.
Problem for what?
With the world?
Of the whole world?
Main problem.
There's so many different problems.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question.
I think the biggest problem in the world is
The main problem would be that what I think is wrong with the world today is...
Got any more songs ready?
Buddy, I can give you, I can you got about 10 hours and we could write a book.
Well, fine, let's hear them.
the problem is
Day-to-day, most people just get caught up in their own lives.
Well, one, overpopulation.
Overpopulation.
Two, ignorance.
too much in the hands of too few.
Education system.
Nationality.
Well, human nature, I guess, greed.
People's like unbounded desire to accumulate mad amounts of wealth and material goods.
Greed, hubris.
Everyone has a certain sense of greed.
Greed, money.
I think it's probably greed.
Greed.
A big thing. The main thing.
Money.
I'd say is money, definitely.
But without that, you can't succeed, right?
Those are the root of all evil.
Money.
Figure that everything that people does or happens to them, they are responsible for. And that if it doesn't work out, it's their fault.
A disconnect between our own actions and the effect that they have on the rest of the world. And
This is the war, I guess.
War is a business.
Lack of peace.
Look at the war, Iraq war,
Wars between races, countries, cultures.
Vietnam war. What do you think caused that?
Afghanistan, Iran.
Big business. They want to sell their weapons.
Lack of love between nations, between people. Not enough love, man.
No matter how much love you're trying to show someone, there is still something devious inside.
Too many people trying to make money and exploit other people.
Economy.
Division, lack of understanding, spirituality, and religion. There's too many religions.
People have deviated from the revelation that they were given some 5,000 years ago. Now this is in the context of this book.
I think the basis of it all is that we're sinners.
Lack of following God's ways.
Or a lot of people don't believe in an absolute morality, so they just do what they think is the right thing to do.
I don't know. I'm just living it.
Resentment.
We're neglecting something. People don't want to really listen to each other or even relate to each other.
If there was other intelligent life out there, they'd be looking at us and saying, how can we communicate with these people? They can't even communicate with each other.
Lack of understanding.
It's a simple thing to do and we can't do it. So different classes can't communicate with each other. I just think we should be beyond that by now.
Everyone has to prove a point.
It just doesn't make any sense. We're such a high-tech modern world, but we still fight like cavemen.
The base of weaponry and
Homelessness and drug abuse.
Drugs have a lot to do with it.
The U.S. has a feeling that they're so good and have so many resources that they can tell other people what to do.
We've had a bad history of colonialism and capitalism.
How do you think our history relates to, say, the Chinese history? Chinese history is this big, and we are this big. We seem to want to be the rudder and the engine steering all this, with all these people having been here a lot longer than we have. So, should we do it, or should we develop a coalition of people?
Capitalism, I don't agree with.
Anglo-U.S. capitalism isn't exactly the best fit for every country in the world.
The whole system is faulty.
It just seems like it's upside down.
It's now all about money. It's all about a monetary value.
Who are already billionaires and they want to be multi-billionaires, multi-billionaires.
They're rich. They want to get richer.
Back in the 80s and the early 70s, it was a much nicer place to be, you know?
That's it, you know, I mean, all boils down to that. All the troubles of the world, all because human nature's greed, you know?
It's a basis of a mix of racism and sexuality.
Technology.
Technology is not the problem. It's what we are.
When I grew up, there was stone sticks and rocks and your imagination. No, I wouldn't get rid of technology. I just think we've had a surge of it.
We're a bunch of schmucks. Our lives are shit. We're living at a very small fraction of what we're capable of.
Hate and pain.
There's a lot of resources in the world that are being used to do very little.
Importing stuff from China. We don't need to import nothing from China. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We could sink all the ships.
Call up China, they seem like they have it going on.
We'd totally, easily be able to support ourselves industrially. You can live off the grass for Pete's sake, almost. You know, you can.
We're not aware of what goes on.
Forget what's going on outside of beautiful BC and beautiful Canada. There's a lot of troubles everywhere else.
People see it on the news, but they can't relate to it.
The media doesn't really give us the information that we need to make a difference and to see what's actually going on out there.
The media should take more responsibility by letting people know on primetime TV films that are made now.
If you want to be able to make a difference, then it's up to you to, find the information and see what you can do.
I think it's too much of us thinking of ourselves. Like, I think myself as an Irishman. Shay thinks of himself as an American. And we're not Irishmen, we're not Americans, we're people. People should help people.
Are lacking in any sense of what is true.
Too many people wish in this world, not enough people hope.
But I guess most people just get, caught up in their day and their homework and, having to make it on time to work and, it's hard sometimes. They get caught up in themselves. They have to have the best of everything.
Even people that are religious, they get caught up in the world.
In my mind, people are the problem. People have got to change people. That's it.
The show has already begun.
That's the thing in the world.
That was there.
It's a mess.
We're in time for the beginning of our story. And we hope you enjoy it.
Solution to that problem?
Nobody's really making it into a solution.
I don't think so. This thing has been going on through the ages,
If you have a sea-doo, how far do you have to go to do a U-turn in the water?
If I had the solution, I would be the king of the world.
If you have a cruise ship, how far do you have to go to do a U-turn in the water?
The basic message is love and care and take care of each other and just be a good person, the best person you can be.
A lot of people talk about religion and, love and all that. But, if you're greedy, you're intrinsically greedy and you'll never get out of that. It's, as I said, it's human nature,
I think the biggest thing is teaching people how to be financially successful. The normal solution would be to sit down at a table and talk things out like human beings. If we're smart, we will, or the world's going to come to an end. Somebody's going to push the button eventually.
Remove money.
I like the idea of just taking money out of everything.
You see shows like Star Trek or future-based shows that don't have money involved, and apparently they have this utopian, Yeah, socialism.
Not communism, I don't know what that means.
They can't even figure it out through science fiction how that works. Yeah, there's no theories as to how we can survive without money.
Pick a different system. I don't know the answer. If I had that answer, I would be rich and famous. I guess that's the problem, right? Contradict myself.
We live in a system that's based on whoever has the most money is the strongest, and I have no idea what the solution to that is at all. We need to look at people that lead simple lives and are just as happy as people that have very complex and rich lives.
I just live very, very simply.
One way to get on top of that is to democratize the knowledge of technology so it doesn't, so we're not mystified by it.
There's always going to be greed. You can't get rid of greed. Everybody's greedy in their own right.
I don't know. I think it's something it's probably ingrained in society at this point now.
It's hard though. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, because we have our own lives and we have our own ambitions, and like, you know, we're going to school, we're working all the time.
I think people should start learning to get a bit of fucking respect for other people. You know, and start treating people like human beings. That's all I got to say.
People will start to realize the impact that they have by just recycling a newspaper.
Oh, okay, well if I recycle a few pop cans, then I'm going to do, you know, my part for...
Reduce my carbon footprint, I guess you could say that.
It's kind of back in the 1950s when there was the threat of nuclear war in the US, they told kids and parents and everybody to get on the ground and put their hands over their neck. That would not stop you from getting injured from a nuclear blast. It was just a big smoke screen.
Make oil burning vehicles illegal.
Understanding, maybe. Understanding of the world, that we aren't just, not just me living in Vancouver.
What will be the next step? Probably get rid of all the guns.
Respect that, I suppose, the universality of peace.
But through media and literacy, we've got an awful lot of opportunity. So we better use it, or we're going to be in more trouble, big time.
The Western and the Eastern philosophies would get together and work together because we all are about mind, body, and spirit.
Discuss it and try and make people understand that we need to be a bit more compassionate to people who don't have good luck.
Alert, emergency, broadcast.
I don't know if that's a solution really, like. Yeah.
I just put it out there for people to think about.
Have I been doing something about it?
Do I do something about it? I admit that I don't.
So, that's a great question.
No.
No, actually, I keep on thinking about this idea, but if anything, my life is becoming more and more complex as time goes by.
I don't think there is a whole lot we can do about it.
Well, you can't. I don't know. I can't do anything about it.
Me? I constantly try to do something about it. What can you do? You talk to people and you tell them that they really don't need as much as they guess, but you know, they still do it.
I must admit that I'm not doing a thing about it, and I'm probably a problem.
I'm just about to take a year off from making money to try and figure out how to be in the world.
Stay safe, be as happy as you can, and make the best of your day.
I think there's another way to be, I just don't know what it is. Coming on my days off, starting today to kind of research what I can find out, what I can be involved in, what kind of awareness I can bring.
You know, I read a lot, I try to stay informed, but I don't really take a lot of action.
I try and be aware. I try not to perpetuate it.
I'm cordial to foreign people who come here.
I think I can do. I'm not any savior, that's for sure.
I've got the solution right now. I'm doing it.
I help them with directions, talk to them, get the map out, tell them the things to see.
We're like meeting with members of parliament, and like, it's pretty exciting. I'm in charge of that.
I say I wish I could, but I haven't done a thing to change the system.
It's just like public engagement and like really engaging our members of parliament, because they're like so approachable, and like, this is what we should be doing. Like, we're citizens, we should be active in government, and like...
Yeah, but it takes everyone, not just one person, right?
I can't push a bill through Congress to be like, hey, we should stop thinking of ourselves as Americans.
I perceive myself as just a person who doesn't have much influence on macro events like this, right?
Figuring out ways Canadian lawmakers to develop better policies so we have deliver better aid and help to reduce poverty for people.
I'm just not greedy.
I think it's an individual thing. It's something we got to do as people.
I live within my means. I don't want or desire things that I see on TV and I see celebrities have, and shake away the tension of fear and get into trusting a certain belief.
I believe that there is a God, or it's only when we actually subject ourselves to His laws that we actually can get along.
We've been missionaries overseas in Africa for 28 years. Yeah, people throughout the world need Jesus. So we were there.
I'm not pushing religion on anyone, but if I believe in life, it's good to have a faith.
Just love each other.
No, I can't even fix myself. I still think of myself as an Irish.
Just spread the word like I'm doing right now. Just put a bug into people's ears and pray that those soldiers come home alive.
Day by day life, I don't know. I like to help people out when they need it, if they ask.
I try to be as nice as I can. Have that basic respect for them, and when you provide that type of atmosphere, then that person will do it to another person, then that randomness creates a big chain.
Sing more Rolling Stones songs.
I make people happy with music.
Live my life in a more tolerant way, a loving way, an understanding way. What the hippies gave up to become yuppies.
Raising my kids.
Like, I have 2 kids now, so I raised them to the way that
to be law-abiding citizens and to be kind to others and to live at peace with other people, and that's a small start to it.
There's really nothing I can do about it as one person.
And you can wander around forever and you'll never get there. You got to get your act together. So you got to humble yourself, throw away all the junk if you want to get to the answer, and get there.
Are we better than they are or not?
Well, that's the end of my story. But before I leave, I want to say goodbye.
And just then we came to the end of this record.